guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the TVS Ronin. Yeah, the DRL is actually on the key of the vehicle and this is the second key or the spare key because the bike is on right now. This is a 225cc motorcycle which is the rival of the Royal Enfield Hunter. It has a very retro design at the front and you can see round light, of course. This is the low beam, this is the high beam and this is the DRL which doesn't seem bright. It's probably not even on right now, but anyways you can see the indicators are LEDs, sharp and pointy, golden colored upside down forks, 41mm in size. The Apache 310 actually has 43mm and these alloy wheels will actually remind you of certain Royal Enfield models, probably actually the Harley Davidson models because a lot of cut, copy, paste here and there. Anyways, this one is having dual channel ABS, that is the ABS ring, of course. The tire size at the front 110/70/17s and then you have a proper belly pan, crash guard. That is the engine which is a square unit. We'll talk about it when we're riding the bike. Says Ronin here. There is a TVS logo, 14-liter tank, ground clearance is 181mm and you know what, from the side it actually, and I'm not kidding, it looks like a regular cruiser motorcycle. So retro from the front, cruiser from the side, and from the rear, well, they actually ran out of budgets. It looks like a scrambler. So very confused identity with this motorcycle. There is the monoshock suspension and the pegs are a little front cent here. Of course, exhaust has this black treatment, but here it becomes sort of chromish. And then at the rear you have got 130/70/17 section tires. Again, alloy wheel design will remind you of certain Harley Davidson motorcycles. Dual channel ABS, you can see the ABS ring there as well. Here is a reflector on the side, again LED everything. The light is like chintu mintu, the brake light is very small and overall the design is a hit or a miss. Some might like it, some might not. This grab rail can actually be removed. Seat seems nice and comfortable but actually holds water, so in rainy season you will face that issue for sure. And then this is strap you can hold on to. By the way, seat is comfortable but this is very small for the pillion. And this actually brings me to this particular side of the motorcycle where I noticed that paint quality is not very good. Okay, it's average at best, but then obviously at this price what you would expect. Oh, it's not cheap by the way. Anyways, you get a side stand, you get a main stand which is activated at the moment. Switchgear quality is actually nice. Okay, now there are a lot of buttons here and there. This is for the engine kill, so I press this, engine gets killed. We will remove the key of the vehicle because when I put the key back inside, it does this full swipe up thingy and it even tells Ronin here and then it says have a safe ride. Yeah, thank you for that. Anyways, just look at this. Okay, there it turns on. It's a one-click starter which is fantastic. We see that on a lot of commuter motorcycles and scooters, but this bike is having it, which is nice. Okay, fuel goes in right here. Handlebar seems a bit wide, mirrors also seem quite nice here, and then it has an offset instrument cluster which is very similar to the Ducati Scrambler. Adjustable levers, that is also kind of cool. Now this is to go from low beam to high beam. This is the pass light. This is when you actually connect with TVS's app that you can use it to basically browse through information, so you can get navigation and phone call alerts, and you can also use voice commands on the app to see the location of the vehicle and all that. So that's kind of cool. And these are the, obviously for the indicators, the switch. This is the horn, very similar to a Royal Enfield motorcycles. Now it says mode here to go through the two riding modes. So here it will show you, now it's in rain and now we shift into urban. It only changes the ABS sensitivity. This is for the hazard light. Okay, and this is the engine starter button. Very nicely laid out, simple switchgear, nothing complex as such. Now here you can browse through stuff because it's giving you more information, like there's twin trip meters and it has got a distance to empty, also it tells you the average speed below, and there's a clock and all that. Okay, this is actually the tachometer. It's a little busy, this meter, because a lot of information has been splashed almost everywhere. There you have the fuel meter, telltale lights are placed almost everywhere. So yeah, that's that. And let's rev the motorcycle. Oh my god, it is unbelievably smooth. It's quite smooth, a bike. So let me remove the key and open the under seat. So here we go, and there you can see you have to actually unscrew this and you can remove the grab rail if you don't like. Those are the bike papers. And yeah, this is actually quite heavy. Seat height is actually 795mm, something like that. So yeah, it will suit both short as well as tall riders. But yeah, the design is a hit or a miss. Do you like it or not? Leave your comment below and let's start riding right away. Alright, let's turn on the motorcycle.
and just one click is enough to start it. That's just wonderful. Into first gear and off we go. I have to admit, this motorcycle seems very easy to ride. It's very smooth also somehow. And then you get on the throttle, the vibrations don't kick in. I mean, I'm surprised. Okay, firstly, there are 3 variants on offer. There's SD, this, I don't even remember the variant, just forget about that. But there are 3 variants on offer, and pricing starts from 1.49 lakh rupees going all the way to 1.69 lakh rupees. This is 1.69 lakhs. All the prices, of course, are on road Mumbai, but TVS has come a long way because this is such a smooth engine. So slightly more than 225cc in displacement, and basically they've taken the Apache 200 engine and, you know, increased the bore. So it's a square engine. Bore and stroke are identical here. I think 66 mm or something of that sort. It's a very easy bike to ride. It doesn't have that cruiserness because the engine is free revving. Mostly with cruisers now, they have a good low end, decent mid range, and then they're dead in the top end. This one is relatively higher revving and doesn't feel dead at all. It just feels so free. Yeah, the engine just feels free, feels effortless to drive. I'm very surprised. I didn't expect that because I was like, हाँ, bus 225cc होगा, क्या performance देगा. But yeah, that's kind of nice. Very nice. Okay, the first impressions are very positive because in the city it's easy to ride. It's got great low end punch, and I think that's because of the shorter gearing. Gearing is very short, like super duper short. And then the handlebar is also decently easy to maneuver by cruiser standards. So yeah, that's also good. The dual pattern tires also have decent grip, but this is not a bike you would take off-road because the ground clearance isn't ample enough. And then the suspension seems too soft. Actually, it's too soft at the rear. At the front now, the suspension actually happens to be a bit on the stiffer side, which helps in agility. So it's agile enough. You can see it's quite fun, and the sound isn't typical cruiser, it's more a typical TVS. So it is smooth and a little vocal in the higher end of the rev range. Braking performance is very good. Yeah, actually brakes are stupendous here. Nice. Okay, mode from rain to urban, and hazard lights off. Into first gear and off we go. First gear 42, second gear 65, third gear 90. Struggle starts once you get into fourth. Struggle starts post 90 kilometers per hour. Vibrations are plenty on the foot pegs, a little bit on the handlebar, but more so on the foot pegs. And in fourth gear it's doing around 115. Yeah, the brakes feel a bit too tight, although initial bite is lacking, but the brake lever is a bit tight, the front brake one. And then let's shift to fifth. Yeah, it's a 5-speed gearbox, and then it feels a little bit more relaxed in fifth. Otherwise it feels very stressed out in the higher end of the rev range. So redline comes in around 9,000 rpm. Post 8,000 rpm the vibes are crazy on the foot peg. So some of the vibes don't come on the tank and not much on the handlebar, but a lot on the foot peg, so which is a bit crazy, I would admit. Anyways, brakes are good. Yeah, brakes are good. That initial bite is little lacking, but then, you know, it does have good stopping power, and then grip levels from the tires is also nice. Engine is very, very smooth and refined and all. So this actually makes 20.4 horsepower and 19.93 newton meters of torque. So गिन चुन के 20 horsepower 20 newton meters of torque बोल दो, ठीक है, not great but okay enough for city riding and occasional highway runs. Not that impressive for all the time highway riding because it struggles beyond 100 kilometers per hour. So we'll try and do the top speed here. Over bumps you can see, yeah, a little bit of movement here. So suspension is soft, but it's not the most comfortable when compared to other cruisers. I think they are just slightly better in terms of ride quality. Okay, a little vibes on the seat as well, and off we go. No top end, better to short shift into fifth. Yeah, I could see around 118, should reach 120, but that's about it. So top end is lacking, highway performance is not that great, and while I was saying the brakes are I mean good, the ride is also good. Like I was saying, other cruisers have slightly better ride because I feel that, you know, the front is a bit too on the stiffer side, the rear is on the softer side. Rear suspension compliance is very nice, so front could be slightly better I feel, but then the overall dynamics of ride and handling balance is good. And then the gear shifts are very smooth. The clutch is also on the lighter side. You've got a slipper clutch here, okay, and Yeah, sure-footed, really nice. What am I saying? Clutchless shifts, not going to happen in fourth gear, so we're going to try it in third. Here we are. Yeah, a little bit of struggle in that regard, but honestly I'm quite impressed by this bike. Okay, only thing is it looks weird, and then dual channel ABS is actually available on the top trim, which is we are riding right now. Low variants actually get single channel ABS. ABS sensitivity changes with the riding modes, does nothing to the performance at all. And it's a great city bike, but not so much on the highway. I think other options are slightly better there, because it not only competes with the Royal Enfield Hunter, but also competes with the Honda CB 350 and all. So that bike obviously has a Makhan engine, like super duper smooth. Filtering through traffic, not a problem at all. Handlebar is a little on the wider side, and then pegs are so front side now. I'm searching where are the pegs, and they have already left. They're on this scooter right ahead of me. So weird riding position. Firstly, you sit super upright. Okay, I'm sitting really very upright on this bike right now, which is fine, but you know, performance kind of reminds you of the Apache. In fact, they should have not made this bike only. They should have made an Apache 220. That would be apt, because the design is proven. People love that bike, and with more power, who would say no? 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes almost 14 seconds, and that's because of the lackluster top end, which is the norm with cruiser motorcycles. So nothing much to complain about. But it's really 80 kilometers per hour where it feels comfortable, because once you reach 100 kilometers per hour, wind blast comes in plenty, and that's not what you want. Weight is just 160 kgs, but still it holds the road quite well. And then this is using a double cradle frame, so a lot of cycle parts are actually coming from the Apache, and it's a lot of mix and match they have done from the existing, you know, kya bolte hai, inventory. By the way, this was showcased 4 years back as the Zeppelin concept, which obviously looked better and was also hybrid. The mirrors actually give you a decent view of what's around. Yeah, so I think nicely shaped mirrors as well. It's better to short shift. No point taking it in the top end, because low end is good, range is really very nice, and then the top end is lacking. Could do with more top end grunt. But you know, just with 20 horsepower, it's still a fun motorcycle to ride, and I love the seat comfort. I think seats are very nice and comfortable. Overall, a nice bike for the price, for like 1.69 lakh rupees on road Mumbai. This machine does offer quite a lot, but then you know, there's the Royal Enfield Hunter as well, and then obviously that comes with the legacy of cruising, because Royal Enfield is obviously very good in that regard. I think the Enfield, rather the Hunter, has more character, and that's what really makes me, you know, biased towards it. So we should try a U-turn right now, and I realize one thing, that U-turn takes some bit more effort because the way the handlebar is so wide. Anyways, should you buy this bike? I think it is fantastic, no denying that fact, but a cruiser motorcycle is all about, you know, character in terms of, you know, impressing others around you, because you're not going too fast now. So when you're riding slow, more people tend to observe you on the road, and in that regard, the Royal Enfield Hunter makes a lot more sense. Plus it also comes with the whole community thing of, you know, the Royal Enfield rides and stuff, which nobody's able to match. So I would personally pick the Hunter, and because of the character, mainly because of that sound. This doesn't sound cruiserish, if that is even a word, but still, for a lot of people, the Ronin does make quite a lot of sense, because it's a very smooth, easy motorcycle to ride. I thought that gift was for me. These people just left. What is this happening, man? Kya ye? Anyways, let's go. So basically 14-liter fuel tank. It should go almost, and here we go. Oh, you see, mid-range is so nice, it likes to pop the wheel a bit. Anyway, so I was saying, the best thing about this bike is that fuel efficiency isn't all that bad. So it will return almost 35 kilometers per liter, because the gearing is so short now. Relatively speaking, for a 225cc engine, gearing is actually on the shorter side. That's the reason why this bike will actually not give great fuel efficiency out on the highway when compared in the city. So city mein aaram se 33, 34 de degi, highway pe 36, 37, because when you're riding at higher speeds now, the engine is not at such a lower RPM, so there it's obviously drinking more fuel as well, and then, you know, the struggle is real. It just does not want to budge past 105 kilometers per hour. You have to really like go down, and then 118 is all you can do. And when I say go down, that's what she said. Bolna main bhul gaya, to bol deta hu. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's oh god, gear shifts are so nice, and that compliance over bad bumps is also cool. Since I'm riding a bike, I should do the thing which every biker does: come in the leftmost lane and make my own way like this. Okay, no problem. Expensive car. Anyways, here we go. और जब मेरे रास्ते से मैं आ रहा हूँ, oh, false neutral, doesn't really go into that much of it. Big thumbs up to this motorcycle. Although I'm more of a Royal Enfield person, I never thought I would say such a thing, but just I was so impressed with the Hunter and the new Classic and the Meteor, because with the J platform and that engine and everything, they have actually nailed it. TVS has taken its own sweet time bringing this bike. Maybe it could do with more power. That wouldn't hurt, especially when you're at this speed. You're like, come on, आगे बढ़ो, चलो, थोड़ी और निकाल लो. And maybe this would be 120 today. Not 120, it did 121. Take that! Claim top speed. Bye-bye. अरे यार ये क्या दिख गया. One of the worst cruiser motorcycles in the world. Like absolutely ridiculous design. I mean, they just spoiled the name of the Suzuki Intruder. What crap is that? How Suzuki can you make such shit?